Let's move on with ES6 examples, and next one will be example 6. And in this example, I would like to show you how you can set default values for specific properties of each instance of the class. Default values for properties. Okay, let me copy part from example 4. I will copy class declaration, properties for new instance, and creation of new instance. So copy it and paste here. Let me uncomment it, and let's do following. Let's suppose that you can create some instances of this computer mouse class, but some of them may not have all those properties. For example, let's add another instance of this computer mouse class, and let's create object with properties for it. Props for generic mouse equal to object literal, and here let's add only two properties. Color, let's say red, and interface. Let's actually delete interface as well, so only color will be specified. And here below, let's create new instance of computer mouse, and let's call it generic mouse. Notice that this name and this name start with lowercase letter. That's because those variables simply hold instances of the computer mouse class. Okay, const generic mouse equal to new computer mouse. And here I will pass props for generic mouse. And let's log to the console generic mouse here. Let's save, and here I will get following object. And two properties of this object are undefined, and that is interface and type. And that is usually not desired behavior, and it is a good practice to add default values in case specific values are not supplied to the constructor. Let's do that here in this class. We can do this using following syntax. So simply props.type or operator, and here will be, for example, computer, because each mouse is computer mouse. If I'll save now, I will get here type computer. But please keep in mind that this expression will always return computer if props.type is falsy. It means that if I will pass, for example, type equal to empty string and save, I will get also computer, because empty string is considered as falsy value in this expression. If you want to perform more strict check and you don't want to dismiss all falsy values such as empty string, you can use ternary operator. So let's use it here instead of props.interface. I will cut it here, Command X, and let's write following expression. Props.interface is not equal to undefined. Line break, here will be question mark. If props.interface is not undefined, then I return simply props.interface. Otherwise, colon, I will return following string, not specified. Let's save this and expand this object now. And now you see that interface is not specified. In this case, if I will add interface that will be equal to empty string, interface, empty string, let's save, it will be added as property of this object. But it is not the case with this expression. Summary is following. Here, computer will be returned as a default value in case props.type is falsy, and in this case, this default value not specified will be returned when props.interface is undefined. And usually that is the case when this property is missing in this props object. Okay, let me delete this line from here, save, and comment this example. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And in the next example, I would like to add method to the class. Example 7, class methods. Let's again copy same part from example form. this one, including this new instance, paste it here, and uncomment. Okay, let's add here new method, and we will add it directly in the class. It is a good practice to add here line break and start new method with new line like this. Mouse info, parentheses, and inside of this method I will log to the console following line. Type of the mouse is $ curly braces this dot type, and color is $ curly braces this dot color. Semicolon here, let's save, and now I can call this method on any instance of computer mouse. Let's first log to the console simply wireless mouse in order to ensure that it doesn't have own method. Let's save, and here I will see same object as before. It has 3 own properties and proto. And if I will expand proto, you will see mouse info method here. It resides in computer mouse.prototype. Okay, let's call it wireless mouse dot mouse info. Function call, let's save, and here I get type of the mouse is wireless and color is white. Let me copy this string and paste here as a comment. Let's add one more method, and this method will change mouse type. Change mouse type, parentheses, and here will be single parameter new type. Method body, and here I'll do following. This dot type equal to new type. And let's change type of this mouse here. Wireless mouse dot change mouse type, and here let's pass USB string as an argument. And here below let's again log to the console wireless mouse. Let's save, and here I will get updated object. In this new object type is USB. In the original object type was wireless, here it is, and in this object type is USB. And if I will call same mouse info method here again, let's save, I will get this line. Type of the mouse is USB and color is white. Let me copy this and paste here. As you see, behavior of the methods of the class is exactly the same as behavior of the methods of the prototype in the function constructors. So, if you refer to this inside of the method, then you refer to specific instance where each method is called. In those examples, it is wireless mouse. And because object is a reference type in JavaScript, you can easily change any property of this object. And I have just shown you it here. Let's try one more thing. Let me try to add comma between those methods. Let's save, and here you will get syntax error unexpected token comma. Let me actually leave this comma here, comment it out, and add this error for reference. Comma not allowed. And paste this error. Okay, that's the way of adding methods to the class. It is pretty easy, and you simply add one method after previous. And please add always this empty line in order to separate methods from each other. Okay, let's comment out this example, and let's move on to the next one. And in the next example, I will create new class called computer accessories. And I will make this class as a child class of this new class called computer accessories. Let's do that in the example 7. Example 7, class extension, parentheses, add new class to the prototype chain. Again, please notice that we always talk about prototype chain. There is no class chain. Classes are only syntactic sugar for prototype chain. Okay, let's create new parent class here, and let's call it computer accessories. And this class will set one more property, and let's call it compatibility, and it will be array of strings. So let's add constructor method, parentheses, here props, and here in the body of this function I will set property called compatibility. And it will be equal to props dot compatibility. Or I will set default value, and it is array with two strings. And here will be PC, comma, Mac. Okay, and let's create again class computer mouse, but now this class will extend class called computer accessories. Again, body of the class. Here will not be any constructor function, simply empty class. And here below, let's create instance of computer mouse. Let's call it my mouse, equal to new computer mouse. And here let's pass object with one property. I will do this in line, simply compatibility, column, array, and let's suppose that my mouse will be compatible only with Mac. Let's save. I will not get any errors. Let's log to the console my mouse here. Console log my mouse. Let's save, and now I get following object. It has one own property, compatibility Mac, and second property proto points to what? Points to computer mouse dot prototype. And next prototype in the chain is computer accessories dot prototype. And last prototype is object dot prototype. In fact, it is not last one is, as you already know, null. So what happened here? This compatibility property was set by this constructor class, computer accessories, not computer mouse. Computer mouse in this example doesn't have any constructor method. Here it is empty. But I have told you before that if you extend another class, you need to use super keyword inside of this class in its constructor. But why I don't get any errors here? How do you think? What happens? And why this compatibility property is set correctly by this constructor? Please think about that and try to answer it yourself. Okay, let's answer it together. If this class doesn't have constructor method, then under the hood, constructor method of the parent class will be called automatically. Let me add here a comment. Constructor of the computer accessories will be called automatically. But for clarity, let me show you here what happens under the hood here in this empty class. So let me copy this class that extends computer accessories class, paste it here. Let me comment this part, and here I will add constructor method. Constructor. Here will be three dots, all props, and inside of this constructor method will be super call with three dots, all props. Let's save and verify if result is the same. Let me expand it, and as before, this object has own property compatibility and has same prototype chain as before. Okay, but what happens here on those lines? I have used here new variable called allProps, and it is parameter in this constructor function. But I have used three dots here and three dots here. And they are spread and rest operators. Could you please answer the question? Which of those operators is spread and which one is rest? Answer is following. Here is rest operator and here is spread operator. Rest operator here is because we take all arguments that will be used for this function call and gather them into single array. So all props is array. Let me log to the console it. Console log all props. Let's save, and here you will see array. And this array contains object with single name value pair, compatibility, and its value is Mac. this single element in this array is this object, because I use it as a single argument in this function call. Okay, and here on this line, here is spread operator. I take this array, all props array, and spread it into separate elements. And this means that this constructor method of computer accessories class will be correctly called with one argument. That is an object. And it expects here single argument. That's why everything works correctly. So again, here is rest operator and here is spread operator. Let me add here comment, rest, and here is spread. That's what happens under the hood when you don't specify constructor method in the child class. Let me add here comment, default, behavior, if constructor is absent. Okay, let's take this example, copy it and move to the next one. Let me copy this part, comment out this section, and in the next example, let's add also properties to the instance, also in the child class. Example 8. Set properties in different classes. And let me paste here copied part. I don't need this, I will delete it. I will uncomment this part and delete this comment. And let's suppose that in this class, computer mouse class, I would like to set some other properties. So compatibility is set by this class, and in the computer mouse class, I will set type property. Let's add here constructor method, constructor, here will be props, then body of this method, and here let's directly set type of the instance of the computer mouse. This .type equal to props.type without any default values. And here let's adjust this object and add one more name value pair, type is optical. Okay, let's save now and see what will happen. I will get error. Must call superconstructor in derived class before accessing this or returning from derived constructor at new computer mouse. So long error, but long story short, this happens because we don't use super keyword inside of this constructor method. Let me copy this section and paste it here. And I will copy this error and paste here for your reference. And let me comment out this section and add one more comment here. Super must be present in the constructor. Okay, let's now add super here. Super, and let's call it without any arguments and see what will happen. Let's save, and now I get another error. Uncode type error, cannot read property compatibility of undefined. How do you think why this happens? This happens because constructor method in the computer accessories class, let's scroll up to it, has props parameter. And here we access compatibility property of this parameter. But here in this call there are no arguments. That's why props here is undefined. And we try here to access compatibility property of undefined. And that's why here we get this error. Okay, let me scroll down and copy again this part, paste it here. Again, take this error and paste here for your reference. And comment out this section. Let me also add here another comment. Super is called without arguments. Okay, finally, I guess that you understand that here we need to add props. Please remember that in our example, props is an object. So this function takes this object, and here we simply pass this object to another constructor method in this class. Let's save this now, and here I will get correct result. Let's expand it, and now this object has three properties: compatibility, type, and same prototype chain as before. And in our example, type is set by this class constructor, computer mouse, and compatibility is set by computer accessories class constructor. Okay, let me minify this, and let's summarize. If you set properties of the same instance in different classes, in our example, we set one property in computer mouse class and another property is set in the parent class here. In this case, you must call super in the constructor method in the child class. Without it, you'll get an error, and I have just shown you this. Okay, let me comment this example and let's move on to the next one. No worries, there are just 2 or 3 examples left. But let's go on after the pause. See you.